Hello. Hello. Fightful Faithful. Welcome to the Gobble Gobble Ghoul NXT post-show after party on Fightful.com with your boy Alex Pawlowski and your girl Kate Hensler. We're very thankful for NXT 2.0 being what it is so that we can riff on it.
Thankful is a choice that we have to make every single Tuesday. And, well, a few things. One, as we see the gobbledygook occur over there.
Yeah, I'm the gobbledygooker. In honor of our friend Braun Breaker, I am the gobbledygooker.
Look, there wasn't a lot to be thankful for on NXT 2.0. So, occasionally, you just have to be thankful for what isn't there. And so, periodically, when we get angry throughout the broadcast, I'm just going to hold up this egg. And the reason I'm going to hold up this egg is so that we can be thankful that there was no egg on the show tonight. Because it's all over the main roster. And, guys, I'm kind of mad because it was too big to fit in the frame. But if I want to take a selfie with the egg, I don't even have to steal it. So I'm just going to take a selfie with this. It's a frame for selfies. And it has Team Calyx on it because we're so thankful for you guys. So I'm thankful for not having eggs on the show. And I'm thankful for my co-host, the gobbledygooker over there. And like you do in school, I made a turkey hand art that says gobble gobble ghoul. So that's what I'm thankful for. And for this guy.
I think I'm just gonna have the gobbledygooker just host the show. So I'm just gonna do one of these things and let him speak on it.
It's perfect.
Pretty good show tonight. It's I don't know. I'm not sure that it's got the legs, or as we call them, the drumstick, to last through the winter before the whole thing falls apart. But I will definitely keep you abreast of the situation.
Those were good turkey puns. I don't know if they were as good as CM Punk's promo on QT Marshall the other day of him saying, we'll find out who the turkey is as he enveloped Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my God. This show, if you can't laugh at it, you'd walk into the ocean. Like, it's just, if you couldn't laugh at it, then it would just be impossible for me to continue watching it. Like, it would be, I don't know what to do about it. Like, it is the fact that it qualifies as exciting to have this build toward WarGames, because again, no William Regal. Apparently he's in Europe. He was at the NXT UK tapings, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad he gets to have a vacation and maybe spend some time at home with family in this time of year.
I'm not.
But Bill, mate, send in a little pre-tape for the fans. Let us know you're all right. Okay.
It can be an MP3, but he has to say WarGames. Otherwise, it's not WarGames.
Everybody, please drop a like on this thing and send in a super chat, or go to humperchats.com, humperchats.com, or humperchat.com, because, if you forget the S, we still want your money. And we'll read your stuff on the air just like this. Van Twinblade sent in a humper chat. Says, by the time you guys get to the show, it will be almost midnight, November 24th, and it will be my 32nd birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday a little early. Here's hoping NXT is interesting. May the Gabagool be with you all. Ryan Sullivan sent in a humper chat, says that, Catherine, you are nutless and gutless.
Wow.
He also sent sent a super chat saying, "I remember when Alex was sour. Kate has changed him." I
don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was 2.0.
No,
but maybe a combo.
Seriously, if if I was still reviewing this show by myself, it would I would be so angry and just melancholy all the time. I wouldn't have anybody to bounce jokes off of. I'd be doing impressions for nobody. It was just terrible. James Barra says, "In the name of Tony D, Gabagool, and the step host spirit, may we pray for a bountiful Team KLX NXT 2.0 review." Yes. And also with you. Emily Cease, for the Ruckus.
Who's for the Ruckus, of course.
Says, "OMG, Kate's hand turkey art is gay. I've never felt so represented in my life. Gobbledygool."
Oh.
Gobbledygool.
Well, I would have done fun little like rainbows and stuff in the corner had I known it is. It's a very accepting turkey.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into the details about Thanksgiving and how that turned out because that wasn't the most accepting thing in the world. But
yeah,
I would have put like fun little pride flags on it.
Yeah.
Because this, you know what this turkey is? For the Ruckus.
Yes. It is. It is. It is. So yes, it is. We are thankful. We're very thankful for all of the faithful always, and thankful for the ridiculous rainbow thing that is NXT 2.0 because it brought all of us together. And thankful for you guys who show up every week to watch us do this. Thankful for Sean for not shutting us down at exactly 2 hours into the podcast each week.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
well, I'll say this. I'm extremely thankful for you, fella, for several reasons.
Oh,
one,
gee.
You got me promoted in my first week here, which just made me look good. So thank you for that. But more importantly, if you had asked me even 6 months ago if I thought I'd be spending my Tuesday nights getting dressed up as a funeral bride or putting gabagool on a face mask to put across my face, or that I would just even be reviewing the show in general, it means so much to me because you built this out as your own baby, and then you were like, I gotta get someone to share this with, and you chose me of all the people in the whole world. Yeah. And I started as a fan of this, very much so. So I am thankful for you, as is the Gobble Gobble Ghoul.
Yeah.
And I'm also thankful there were no eggs on the show.
No eggs on the show. It's an egg-free show.
Not this one though.
No, it's all fake eggs, like the carton of fake eggs you get in the dairy section. It's not actual egg. Yeah, it's because people with high cholesterol get the fake eggs. It's all fake eggs. It's all of it.
This looks like it came from Trader Joe's, but this was Cleopatra's. Just so you guys know. I tried really hard. I had a gold Sharpie and I was trying to get it to go on the egg, but it was kind of dried out.
They could have had so many cool things go on with that storyline last night. They could have done like all these pre-tapes of Pierce or Sonya or even Vince, like sweating them under the hot lights, like different people being interrogated about the whereabouts of the egg. Like that could have been a lot of fun. It could have been like actually fun and cool. Or they could have had when Sammy says, "I know where the egg is. I can prove it. I'll bring it into you." And he brings in just like a big egg, like a plastic one that he's obviously colored gold. And Vince is like, "What are you doing? Give me my egg." You know?
No, it was egg selfies.
Yeah, they could have done egg selfies. That's all we got. One egg selfie. Let's talk about this show. They're building toward
building. Sort of.
Like no. Like they're literally just like building so much. You know where like where we need to throw up this condo in like 6 weeks to make sure that we can sell it to unsuspecting dupes. and they build it on zero foundation with drywall and no insulation, and they're like trying to sell it to people. Like, that's how fast they built this thing out. It is not good. They are throwing everything together at the wall. We'll see what sticks. We'll talk about it when we get there. But I will say I'm very, very happy for our boy Tony D. He gets a marquee shot as his first takeover. That'll be a lot. That'll be good.
He deserves it.
He does. As Hangman Page would say to him, he would say, "What are you talking about? I freaking earned it. I've been here for all of like 4 months. I freaking earned it." Even less than that, like 2 months, really. The only thing that I knew that was on the show going into it was the main event, triple threat for the North American title. I didn't know of anything else that was happening. I guess we did know that it was gonna be Champa versus Grace and Walla. Let's talk about Grace and Walla, because that guy up until last week was like a really fun-loving. He just loves to have fun. As the only guy in the history of Michael Cole to be a white guy who loves to have fun. That was his character. And then he turned heel like for no reason. And I realized what the reason was is because the new school is now heels. The new school is like the invasion angle from WCW. That's what they're doing. They all the new school is now heels. They officially turned Braun Breaker at the end. So like everybody in the new school is all heels, which is just it's an interesting thought, because here's the deal. He cut a promo last week on Lashing Out with Last Legend about how he's railing against the indie types, people who drive 500 miles for a hot dog and a handshake, right, yeah. Wrestlers, career wrestlers, and he says these guys are a bunch of dupes who should never have done that. And see, look at me, he says, look at me. WWE called me. All I had to do was be on a reality show, and they called me to come in and be on TV. And he rails against them and puffs his own self up. But isn't his point of view basically the point of view of everybody in charge of 2.0? Isn't that the whole point? That they're running out the old school and bringing up the new school who has no experience on TV. Von Wagner got a freaking title shot on the first episode in his first match on television. Like, the people behind the scenes have the same point of view as Grace and Walla, but they are intentionally presenting him as a heel. I don't understand why you do that.
Well, why is the entire future of your company a heel? To your earlier point, is a great question.
Because they only know how to book heels, and even then they're bad at it. But it's not like they can't do it like they do with baby faces.
Right. Well, and faces aren't allowed to win or have friends.
Yes.
In WWE, so
yes.
they I guess have to be heels. But yeah, I mean, the one side of that is like anything that's been backstage that's been successful has been authority figures that are heels, right? So it like makes sense that it's a heel representation. Yeah. But to the sincere point of that, yeah, that's a load of crap. Like, this is that would be like if I went up to like Aaron Judge and was like, I play outfield for the Yankees now. I didn't even have to do anything. I know you came up through the farm system and played this game your whole life, but now it's just my position, and you're a fool for being an expert at this thing that you do.
Yeah.
That's WWE.
He cuts a promo about it, about how
he doesn't just cut a promo about it, Alex. He references the guy that didn't show up at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
He referenced the guy that didn't show up to pay this.
He references the egg.
He references Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I didn't hear a single positive thing, not even from like the the us group of people. I didn't see a single positive thing that people had to say about SummerSlam outside of Becky and Charlotte, even in much more like empathizing circles than WWE. I'm never gonna get through the show. It moves so much when you make the slightest motion. It's phenomenal. I kind of want you to wear it like at a random show in March and we just don't acknowledge it at all.
Well, it can't be the St. Patrick's Day show because I got a whole outfit planned for that. No, so he actually starts his promo over the top of the WWE like opener where like they show all the people like they show the Cena and the Rock and Austin and Ultimate Warrior. It used to be Ric Flair, but he's not there anymore. They show all those. The Fiend used to be there. He's not in anymore. They show those people, and then he starts talking over, and I was like, well, that's a mistake. And I realized, oh no, it's not. He's supposed to, because he's supposed to like, hey, cut that thing. You know who's not on there? Tommaso Ciampa. And I'm like, well, I suppose, but that's a weird thing to say. But anyway, he compares himself to John Cena and The Rock because they all went Hollywood and they're all too good for this place. And they're really great, but you boo them. Why do you boo them? You're stupid, ungrateful fans. You shouldn't boo them.
But here's the thing. They don't really boo them.
No.
They don't boo The Rock and John Cena when they come back.
No.
They cheer for them.
No, that's right.
Like all the time.
Anyway, then Ciampa's music interrupts and he comes out and they have their match. And I tweeted this out. Match should have been 3 minutes long and Ciampa should have won clean. I mean, I didn't realize that they were actually really building Grace and Walla as like a top 4 guy in the new school. I didn't realize that was what they were doing, but I guess it was. But Ciampa struggled with this guy for 15 minutes. I mean, and I saw, well, he had a really good showing. He did impress. I'm like, yeah, let him impress against somebody who's not one of the top 5 NXT superstars of all time, who's not one of the very best that's ever come through these doors, because he doesn't belong in that conversation yet. He doesn't belong in that conversation yet. I'm telling you, I'm legitimately upset that they had Grace and Walla take Tommaso Ciampa to his limit. I don't get it.
Here's the thing. I feel similarly, but also handcuffed, because at some point they have to.
Jay Blood says it literally looks like that turkey is birthing Alex. Maybe I am the egg. My head is the egg.
No, if you were floating around WWE, the shows would have been a lot better best. So I feel handcuffed because hypothetically, a good way to make a guy feel important is to have him have a real match with the champion, lose, but you still come out looking good because the match was good and you face the most important person in the company. So I felt like it went long too. And I don't like Grayson Waller. I think he's much more suited to be a heel than he ever was a face.
Sure.
But I couldn't buy into the fact that he's good enough to go 15 minutes with Champa, but at the same time, it's sound wrestling booking, and it's going to be what Ciampa's reign is going to be. I think is going to be, let me put over young guys to make them look like they hang with me, like basically like Breakker is already great, so that's different. But I think we're gonna get a lot of this of like his title reign is gonna be adding validity to the new class, and I think this was a step in doing that. I didn't have Grayson Waller pegged as a top guy either, but I don't know if they know what that means yet. Like, I don't know if they have a feel.
They have a feel for who they think are their top guys in their new class. Saved by the Bell, the new class, NXT 2.0 edition. They have a feel for who those people are because that's the people they're pushing right now. Now, they might not. They might not be the same people they're pushing in 2 months, 6 months, a year. I give it a year at most. But like, But those people could just, fail to impress and fall off the wayside. They could be repackaged with brand new ring names and stuff. Like, you honestly really don't know. But I mean, I think that they know right now is what they want to do, which is why Grace and Walla has a good showing, but ultimately loses to Champa. I did think it was weird. I don't know what to read into it, but it's just a weird thing to me. Like, oh, he's heel. Now he wears pink. And I don't know why I've never seen him wear pink before. Pink is such a weird color out of the blue to make him wear pink. It's a weird color, it's a weird color choice. I mean, I don't think it really means anything, but it's just like he's pink.
It's a heely color though. Because don't you think
it's not Brett was black and white and pink. There was an actual color scheme. He was just wearing pink. Like, it was just
the Bucks just dyed their facial hair pink on the.
I guess that's true, but I feel like that's part of an overall. He was just wearing pink shorts. There wasn't like piping on them.
Gloves. Yeah, no, it was aggressively pink.
It was noticeably pink.
Yeah, like outstandingly so.
Yeah. Okay. So LA Knight he's interviewed, and he's a babyface now because they need him to be, because he's going to be on Team Old School, and so all the people on Team Old School are all babyfaces, so he's going to be on Team Old School now, so he's got to be a babyface.
But he's in a feud with someone you had to also turn. Why not do a double turn in a match?
Because that would take way too much effort. It's much easier just to have Grace and Walla come out on Last Legend and lashing out with Last Legend and cut a very lazy, like, all the indie guys are a bunch of failures promo.
A bunch of failures that ended up in the exact same spot I'm in.
Right, but it took them forever. Why did it take you so long? Huh? So let's see. We'll make sure I have this here. Okay, so wait a minute. We got 0 super chats about anything on the actual show, and everything else is now jukeboxes for me. And Valab says, "Keep warm, turkey leg. Keep cool, gabagool." Thank you, Valab. Joey Bag of Donuts says, "Remake Saved by the Bell, but with Fightful peeps."
Ooh. We could cast that out.
I got the hairline to be Mr. Belding.
I don't know why, but Jeremy's definitely screeched somehow.
Yeah, no, Sean's obviously Zach Morris. I don't think there's anybody else who could do that.
DeFelice is AC Slater.
DeFelice is AC Slater. I feel like you're Jesse, right? Jesse Spano?
Yeah, I could be Jesse Spano.
And Denise is Kelly Kapowski. Like, that's
100%.
Yeah.
And Jensen is definitely like someone who comes in for like a 3-episode arc and then disappears to teach us a lesson.
Jensen is the guy who comes in and he deals you your speed pills.
There it is.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so scared.
I say that to my sister all the time. I just go, "Oh my gosh, so excited, so excited, so scared."
JW Pringle with keeping up the Hensler saga says, "Happy thanks, Gabagool, Team KLX, and Kate's mom and dad. May the step host be with you, and may Tony D keep the jamokes away." Yes, Gabagool with you, and also with you. And with your spirit.
Since you brought up my parents, I will let you know that they got many of these in their day, and they also got handprint flowers, which were framed artwork, thank you very much, on their wall for a decent amount of time, which I think I recreated as an adult, which was hilarious because I had like the same size little stem, but like big ass hands. They got many of these. They didn't say gabagool on them, but they were hand turkeys. So there's Jimmy Van is the guy from the Max restaurant.
Yes.
First of all, his name is Max. That's why both of the waiters were named Max.
Yeah.
There was like regular Max, and then I want to say, I don't know, he probably got like an extra role on Friends or something. And then I think there was like an Asian guy named Max that came in after. I can't remember. But Jimmy Van is Max.
JW Pringle says you can just interrupt the intro cinematic. Yes, apparently you can. Apparently that's the thing. They gave the power to that to Grace and Walla. They gave a lot of power that people shouldn't have to people this week, and I am legitimately heated over it. I'm going to talk about it.
Because where is William Regal?
Yeah, he's not. He's an absentee. He's an absentee authority figure, and people are running rampant, doing all kinds of crazy stuff in his place, and I don't like it. So then we got Cameron Grimes. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, no, sorry. So for finishing up this LA Knight thing, he comes out, cuts his babyface thing in an interview, and Grayson Waller does suck, and that's just a fact of life, dummy. Yeah, he doesn't say it, but he thought it. He thought it.
Dummy.
He thought dummy. Yeah, you could tell he wanted to say it real bad. But then Joe Gacy says we should be building each other up, not tearing each other down. It's a lot better than calling people snowflakes and crap, which is what he was doing before.
Yeah.
He says our safe space is out in the ring. Let's do the safe space in the ring thing tonight again. Joe Gacy says. Another fact of life is just getting your ass stomped, dummy. Yeah, he didn't say that, but he wanted to. He wanted to. And so he storms off, and Gacy says, "Leave the hostility in the locker room." Now we get the aftermath of the Great Poker Showdown, where sad, forlorn, slightly shorter hair and slightly shorter beard Cameron Grimes walks out, and he is crying literal, actual tears. I do not know enough of the particulars of his actual background to know how much of this is authentic or whatever. But he said that like he grew up in a tiny town. People pushed him down and told him it wouldn't be good enough. He showed him they was good enough. But he says, if I scratched and I crawled, it doesn't matter how many nights I slept on a concrete floor or begged for change. That I showed all those people that Cameron Grimes holds it down. I don't even know what that means. But he says, I came into the industry, I struck it rich, but through all that, I kept my hair really long and my beard long to remind me of that time where I slept on a concrete floor. So I guess, are we saying homelessness? I honestly don't know anything about his actual storyline, but the fact that he was crying through it makes me think either he's a really, really good actor or this is all coming from an actual place. I think this is interesting. I don't know that that's why he kept it, but if that's what they're going with, okay, all right. He went for the long dry look, which I know Vince hates, because anybody who has their hair longer than like a business cut has to have their hair wet. Like who's the last guy who had their hair dry in WWE? Nobody, but he did. And I think Vince was like, "Nah, pal, if you gotta have it long, you gotta have it wet." What was the hair like tonight? The hair was wet. When he came out, the hair was wet. So I think this is his new look. Yeah,
because even Blonde Wagner, his hair's wet, right? When he comes out.
I mean, if you might be able to get away with a dry look if it's that short or shorter, but definitely if it's any longer than Von Wagner, you got to wet it up. Got to get the baby oil in the hair.
I did hear someone say once that it helps it keep from getting in your eyes as much. Oh,
sure.
Which makes sense. But you're...
No, absolutely. I agree with you. Continue.
But, so here was the only thing about this. I loved that it felt sincere.
Yes.
What I didn't love was that Cameron Grimes was acting like he didn't win the poker games.
Which he did.
And to Duke Hudson's credit, he said, "You had a pretty good week, man. You won a bunch of money from me." Like, so I liked Duke Hudson's really great at this. Like, he pointed it out. I didn't even say last week in this stupid poker game that he quoted CM Punk and said luck is for losers. So that means Duke Hudson's getting buried, I'm sure. So we end up with a hair versus hair match at WarGames.
AJ Styles is the one who got away with the dry look.
Oh,
AJ Styles. Remember him when he came in against
yeah.
his match against Shane McMahon, and the wind like tufted his hair off to the side.
It was beautiful.
It's so gorgeous. It's like a Pantene commercial.
It is. It's very shiny.
Yeah.
So we're getting a hair versus hair match at
so
WarGames.
So the Duke Hudson comes up and he's like insults him, and Cameron Grimes says, "Come on down here. I gave you a chance last week to show the people how big your balls were, but now I see that you're gutless and nutless." Okay, great. And he says, "Come on out and fight me," and Duke Hudson says, "No, I won. Like you took some money off of me, but I took your dignity from you, so I win." It's like, okay, well, fine. You're gonna take some more from me because I challenge you to a hair versus hair match. And like, I don't understand. I guess like Duke Hudson, usually hair versus hair matches are when the guy has like long, beautiful hair or whatever. Like a hair versus hair match with Duke Hudson doesn't make a lot of sense because like he could grow back to that length in like 2 months, but whatever. He
like
says
2
yes.
weeks. Like,
I know. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. 2 weeks is probably closer than 2 months.
And it just doesn't feel WarGamesy to me.
No.
That does not a war game. Nobody in War has ever been like, I know what
this
mental
is the other
game
thing
will
is
play.
that now there's no William Regal. We literally get people doing all right, we're gonna fight at War Games, and that's just a match he made. Cameron Grimes has matchmaking powers now, and I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I mean nobody. Not William Regal, not anybody from the back. No ref has agreed to referee this match when it's coming up. Yeah, there's just nobody. There's nobody in charge.
Yeah.
And not like in a fun way.
Yeah. Anyway, so right. Duke Hudson and Cameron Grimes in a hair versus hair match at War Games. And I'm assuming that this is the look they want him to go with permanently, Grimes. Because bald Grimes doesn't really work. Like, unless they're wanting to like call him up immediately and turn him like crazy man, wild feral heel guy. But in that case, just have the long hair. Like, I don't know. Yeah, no.
This is ending in a DQ, and nobody will.
Nobody will win the hair versus hair match. I think if you do a hair versus hair match, somebody's gotta win.
Dude, they had a DQ at Hell in a freaking Cell.
Point taken. You win. That's all I needed to be reminded of.
I didn't want to win that one.
Oh man.
I didn't want to remember that was true.
So I'm assuming Duke loses. If anybody loses, it's Duke, and he gets embarrassed and knocked right back down the card. I say down the card. Does he wrestle anymore? When was the last time we saw Duke Hudson win a match? Like in the ring? Months ago, I would assume.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Has it been since the breakout tournament? Has he won a match since the breakout tournament? CageMatch.net, here I come. Like, that's weird because I mean, I thought he looked great in the breakout tournament. I don't think he's won a match since. I honestly don't
think he's won on NXT 2.0.
Yeah, that's. I'm sorry. I think you should be at least wrestling matches to get a match on a pay-per-view.
Well, no, see, they played poker instead.
Oh, I'm sorry. The last match that he had one match in NXT 2.0. He defeated Grace and Walla in 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
How did we forget that?
How can we forget that Grace and Walla had that match? But he also had a match on 205 Live, which isn't really 205 Live anymore because the division doesn't make sense anymore. But we'll get to that. But he beat Malik Blade in 5 minutes then. But he hasn't, like, he's won 2 in a row, but hasn't had a match since October 19th.
Well, the other thing we have to remember is he's apparently holding on to Cameron Grimes' hair.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Maybe he wants to sell it. Maybe he wants to donate it to Locks of Love.
That's what I was thinking.
To make a wig for a child with cancer.
Is he also a barber, and the hair versus hair gimmick is going to be he actually gives him like a really nice haircut?
Possible.
I think that would be nice. I also thought maybe he sells off his hair, and we find out that poker is just the beginning, and he has a gambling addiction,
Right.
and he has to pay off his booker.
The Nerd Guru says that Styles, which I agree with, Ziggler, no. Ziggler has had wet hair. I remember the dry look. It lasted like a couple of matches, and he's back to wet.
He also like needs it because it looked like someone took ramen noodles and then took a blow dryer to it.
Luke Harper, which I don't remember. I remember Luke Harper having I don't know if it was dry, but it was greasy. Like it looked like he hadn't showered in a long time, kind of hair. And then Daniel Bryan, which I suppose Daniel Bryan did.
He had it in a ponytail a lot, but
I suppose.
Yeah, when he was doing like his like Hulk uppy thing, you would see his hair go.
JW Pringle says the ladies don't have wet hair. Maybe wet hair is only for boy wrestlers. I'll be thinking about that at 4 a.m. now. It's possible. This is very good. This is the thing from Ken Shiro about Regal. All of the brands, including UK, now have GM authority figures, except for NXT, the only brand where it worked and everyone loved it, which is just perfect.
And the one that would need it the most because it's actually developmental. Like the one where you would need an authority figure because people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
We took that away. Big goose egg for me.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Tiffany Stratton is on her way.
That bitch is on her way.
You can tell.
I mean, this is all that she is.
Yep. Tiffany Stratton. We never see her face. We see her lips, and we see her silhouette. We don't ever see her full face. She says that Daddy got me into the country club, and I have the best tennis serve in the country club, and then they show her serving at the tennis ball, and she sucks. So I don't know if we're supposed to not know what a good tennis serve looks like, or if they're in on the joke and people are being paid to lose to her by her father at the tennis courts on the country club.
I think it's gonna be that. I think it's gonna be she's terrible at everything.
I hope. But yeah, so her whole gimmick is that Daddy is rich. That's her whole gimmick. Her whole gimmick is my daddy is rich.
Yep. And she's been spending all this time playing tennis. So the next logical step is that she's a professional wrestler.
This is absurd, Kate. What she says that I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth because silver is yucky.
Also, we know what she looks like. She wrestled on 205 Live.
Did she really? I didn't see it. I didn't. I haven't watched that since it was good.
This male gaze silhouette of her hitting balls.
Apparently, Luis Polito says that her mentor is the son of Vern Gagne. I did not know that. Andrew Nicholas sends his Humper chat saying NXT is a high school without a principal. The kids are running amok. It's true.
We can make even more Saved by the Bell references.
It's true. So I want to make sure I'm not
Tiffany Trump or Stratton. I mean, sorry. She's coming because this wasn't getting one-dimensional enough as far as women go. We need someone who can be like, I'm rich, bitch. And they'll be like, yeah, you bitch who's rich because it rhymes. And that's the depth we're going to get to promos for the next year and a half.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. Oh boy. Luis says that you popped him with your Tiffany Trump reference.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Alex,
mm-hmm.
if you can't get the pop, you know what I mean? If you need a little help getting a pop in your pants.
Yes.
Our friend Sean and your friend Sean has a great solution for you.
I hear you. Times are rough. We just got out of a wild situation, a wild year, and people are saying, you know what, it's a hard knock life. But I disagree. Instead, I believe it's a hard cock life when you use Blue Chew and the code Fightful, and you get your first shipment free. Free? All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. Blue Chew is made with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work, but they work on your schedule. Full stomach, empty stomach, ready to go, want to get in the mood. Blue Chew has you covered. Instead of treated, we get tricked. Instead of kisses, we get kicked. I don't think so. More like somebody's getting dicked when you use BlueChew.com. No awkward conversations with the doctor. Because, I mean, you know, I'm all about not being awkward. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. It's because they work with their online physicians to get the active ingredient you need, and it ships straight to your door. BlueChew.com and the code Fightful gets you your first shipment free. That's how confident they are. Free. Use that promo code Fightful. Hardcock Life.
Yeah, it's Hardcock Life. So yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for that, Sean. We get a few. We get two. I don't think we ever got a Johnny Gargano pre-tape promo thing for the match. It was just Pete Dunne, who said, "I'm the baddest man in NXT, but I don't care." Like that's almost literally what he said.
Basically.
Verbatim. I do love Pete Dunne. I don't know what this place holds for him anymore. And Carmelo Hayes cut a promo mostly on Gargano and somewhat on Pete Dunne. Trick Williams is there for some reason. Like, I honestly don't understand what Trick Williams adds to any of this. There was one thing he did that I was like, well, can it be just that? But like, where he was like, Pete Dunne, you say you've been doing this for 10 years, still the same age as me. And then Trick Williams says he looks 40. And then Carmelo continued. Like, what if his whole thing was just like an under his breath hype man? Like, not like that's right, that's why you bout it, but just like he threw in little jabs under his breath behind Carmelo. That might be actually fun, depending on if any of them were funny. Like, that might be something different, because the thing he's doing right now it's just not working for me.
Yeah, you know, I think because Carmelo doesn't need anyone. I think that's a huge part of it. I think Carmelo is actually a better talker than his mouthpiece, which is not great. So, that might work. I know this doesn't. I just am not in the tricks, man. No. It doesn't work. It's not needed. It was never really explained.
Yeah.
If Melo doesn't miss, why does he need someone's help? There's nothing about this that works for me.
Yep. We got a we got a little interview with Indy and Persia, and Indy says Dexter suffered a broken hand with some broken metacarpals. He'll be out for over a month. But here's the sad thing. It's not only can he not wrestle, but he's not able to draw. He took away his ability to express himself. And if this wasn't a fucking joke, that might actually be sad. Like a person who is functionally mute and expresses himself through his art, like you, Kate.
Thank you.
That might actually be sad if this wasn't all a giant workity-work joke.
I was kind of okay with that, though, because he's a serial killer. And I think, like, the whole thing has been she's ignoring.
They broke his stabbing hand, Kate.
They broke his stabbing hand.
He can't stab anymore.
He's, like, very obviously a serial killer, and she's always ignored that. So, like, I was kind of okay with her leaning into the softer side of Dexter.
Yeah.
Because if this got taken away from me, my ability to do this,
yeah,
I'd be devastated. There'd be no gobble gobble ghoul for you guys.
So anyway, yeah, so then Johnny Gargano will get his revenge for Dexter by beating Carmelo Hayes. But Persia says, "Are you all right? Would you want me to work this match alone? Because I'll just work all of our matches in handicap form," says Persia Parada after last week. And Indy says, "No, I'll be fine." Dexter, she says to the camera, "This match is for you." And then she goes out and loses. This is the thing. They don't know how to book baby faces at all. Last night on Raw, they actually had the heels, Zelina and Carmella, say that we don't have to worry about Nikki. Nikki sucks. Nikki is terrible. We can beat her no problem. All we got to do is take out Rhea and we're going to be champs. And you would normally do the thing where like Nikki proves them wrong, that she could actually do it because, you know, she's the baby face and that's what you should be doing.
And
is to
was
booking
the
toward that.
champion 3
And was the
months
champion
ago.
3 months ago. But instead, they were right. Like it's not them underestimating Nikki. It was them accurately estimating Nikki. Like that's not how you book. That's terrible booking. And this also is is Indy going like, "This is for you, Dexter," and then going out there and immediately losing, like being bad in the match.
A few things. Persia, like there haven't been stakes to any of these matches, so why can't they just have them a different day? No one would seem particularly upset about that.
Right.
Persia doesn't need to keep offering to go out there, because it doesn't matter if they have the match or not. There's nothing. It's fine. They could move the match. I think this is going to be Indy Hartwell just like too distracted to function and be on this losing streak, and Persia's gonna have to either not be able to coexist with her, or Persia's gonna be the one to be like, "Hey, get your head in the game. Don't worry about your serial killer husband. It's just his hand." And even though this got taken away, it's gonna be okay. He's gonna heal it. He's gonna be able to draw and express himself again. So I kind of get where the story is going, but you're correct in that the booking for baby faces is terrible.
So yeah, Persia ran into the. I was thinking to myself, well, this is a really babyface turn for Indy. Like she's really upset about her husband being hurt, and we've fallen in love basically with Index as they've been a couple. And he's hurt, and she's dedicating matches to him. What a babyface thing to do! And they're facing the TikTok tag team, the Ravers, who are also supposed to be a babyface act. So they're going to have to work.
Why does everybody come out with fire extinguishers now? There were fire extinguishers on Raw last night. I didn't think fire extinguishers were a thing at a rave, but they're not like required for a rave, not in the way that a glow stick might be. You went from being birthed by the turkey to being pooped out.
It's not a turkey, it's a twerky.
Ayo! TikTok twerky tag team turkey.
So here's the deal.
All right, real quick, we're great, okay? The show sucks. You and I are great. I'm thankful for that. I'm putting us over. The things we do for you people. NXT is terrible. Yeah. Alex is over here twerking a turkey butt to entertain all of you people. Oh my goodness. Well, that's going on, Scraps. Subscribe to Fightful Scraps, guys.
Yeah, do that.
Do that. Great content like this.
Guys. Like all of this. I like their double team thing where like Casey sits on top of Caden's shoulders on the top rope, and then Caden kind of like jumps off, and so she gets some more height on the splash. I thought that was decent. But
the whole point of this match was so they could use that finisher, I felt like.
Well, the whole point of this match was so Indy could look stupid and lose like baby faces do.
That's a really good point. Touche. It gets one egg from me. Meltzer could never. All right. No. If that match was in the Tokyo Dome,
Yeah.
It would be not $200 million worth of eggs, but like 1.5.
So we got some humper chats and super chats about the old Tiffany Stratton vignette. Forget having a silver spoon tennis player bitch gimmick, says the Bad to One Jam Beard. NXT needs a Daria Morgendorfer gimmick.
That would be amazing.
That would be pretty great, actually.
I want to be her.
Sean Blanford says, didn't watch the show, but just watched the Tiffany Stratton vignette on YouTube. It's almost as if Vince McMahon just now discovered the hills. I fear with how much she's bringing up daddy, what that reveal will be. Oh, no. Who do you think is going to play her daddy?
Vince.
Perfect.
This is going to be Stacy Keibler. Oh.
Tiffany, daddy's home.
God. It's alarming because it's possible.
Jay Blood has a super chat about when watching Pete Dunne on this show feels like watching a wolf walk through a scene on Sesame Street. He just doesn't belong. Yeah.
And just like too good for it.
Yeah. Luis says the reveal of Daddy Stratton is going to be Road Dogg. Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
I want it to be Scott Steiner really bad.
Oh, that'd be good. Little crossover. Santos.
No, but not acknowledge it.
Yeah. Some stupid punk says that Alex entertains a child all day. Us fans are easy. Yes. My daughter's a big fan of the nodding turkey hat.
It's hard not to be. My God.
You're a big fan of it. Yeah. Gobble, gobble, she says. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, ghoul.
Gobble, gobble, ghoul. So we had a Santos Escobar little promo thing. And then he's got a match versus Malik Blade. Malik Blade is one of those guys in the new school who's just there to job. Like he hasn't won a match ever. He's never won a match on 205 Live. And he loses to Santos Escobar because that's his whole point. And then poor Kyle O'Reilly comes out. Kyle O'Reilly and Von Wagner,
who has had the best main roster debut in the history of main roster debuts.
Like he was there on SmackDown 2 SmackDowns ago.
Didn't say anything.
Nobody acknowledged him.
Sami Zayn kind of looked at him like,
Sami
hey, what are you doing
Sami
here?
Zayn looked at him, but he might have just been looking in that direction. The only person we know for sure saw him was Pat McAfee because he said, "Who the hell was that giant dude?" and that's it. So maybe it's like one of the. Did you ever see Harvey, the old movie with?
Yeah, of course.
With Jimmy Stewart. Maybe Von Wagner is Pat McAfee's Harvey. Like it's a giant rabbit that only he can see, but it doesn't mean that like it doesn't exist. It's just invisible to everybody else. Maybe that's going to be Von Wagner's gimmick when he gets called up fully.
That would be anything. Mm-hmm. So that's better than where he's at now.
Right. It's true. Poor Kyle O'Reilly having to do this stuff.
He's fine. He's got like 4 more weeks of this nonsense and he is out of there.
You have to believe it, right? Like
there's just too much acknowledgement on the AEW side of things that I feel like they simply must. But and why wouldn't you do anything else if you're Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly,
like go work the indies.
Yeah,
you could go to the indies and fight Bud Matthews if you wanted right now. Like,
oh my God,
what are you doing?
Just do that. Just do that.
Teaming with this guy.
So it says we want the NXT tag titles because they said they're going to go after the Legado del Fantasma says they're going after the tag titles, and it's like, we beat you guys already. And basically Von Wagner says, hey there, if you'll check the videotape, you'll see my foot was between the ropes, amigo. So I think we actually won that match there. And no, I don't know how that's worked.
Nobody in WWE has ever played back tape on anything to identify cheating, literally ever. So
yeah, no.
They did an AEW once. It doesn't happen in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
You definitely don't get to go reverse a decision.
Yeah. This is then gobble gobble
What
ghoul.
turkeys run this place?
Imperium appears in what I did dub originally. Back, remember when with the rebrand of NXT before NXT 2.0 was when they moved from Wednesdays to Tuesdays. They changed the logo and made it extra spooky and metal, where it had like a golden skull and a pair of black raven's wings. So that was when they started using more often this little elevated platform over where the announcers are.
Every band I listened to in college was that logo and that platform.
But anyway, that little platform I christened the Raven's Nest, which is just the Raven's Nest, and that's where Imperium shows up and says, all of you little people, you can't even speak more than one language. What are you doing? Why don't you settle it amongst yourselves, and then we will beat you at WarGames. Stop making matches. Not only did you make a match for yourselves for WarGames, you made a match for next week, Marcel. I don't think you should be allowed to do that. Who's running things here? Bruce Pritchard.
Nobody is running anything.
Boy.
But there were no eggs on the show today.
No eggs.
Hey guys, what came first? The turkey or the egg?
The turkey or the egg?
I'm here to pop myself.
We're officially losing it. Earlier in the night, Toxic Attraction walks in, and I swear, I don't know why I was just passing by the TV and looked over and had to do a double take because the top, like the thing that Mandy Rose was wearing under her jacket on top, I don't know, was some kind of lingerie top. The shade of it so closely matched her own skin tone that I thought she was nude under the jacket. And I was just like, oh, now that's just going too far. I know we've gone scantily clad, but that's just a little too much for my tastes.
It is still a PG show at the moment, right?
Yeah, at the moment. Anyway, yeah, I
she got like no pop.
No,
kind of bad.
No. Nah. It's and then she says, hey, Toxic Attraction, can we get a word? It's like, what do you want? You want to ask us about our WarGames match coming up, or you want to ask me about how I'm gonna beat Cora Jade tonight? And then she doesn't let whoever asked her the question answer hers and just keeps walking. I don't think that's how interviews work. I don't think that's a way. I don't think that's how you do that. And then they walk past, and Dakota Kai is just sitting there on a road box, and she hops down and starts twitching, walking next to them. And Mandy notices, like, well, I'm glad she's on our team, which I guess is like a thing about how she's crazy, and we that's good, I guess. And then they walk over toward another road box that's all tipped over with everything spilled everywhere. It's like, oh, it's what a mess. And they keep walking, and there's Kaylee Ray coming out with her aluminum baseball bat. She smashes a wine bottle off the top. So yeah. Later, we get actually a decent little thing from Cora Jade. I like this a lot, where Raquel and Zoe and Io walk up, and they're all bickering about how we're gonna get to be the fourth person, or whatever it was. Oh yeah, Raquel starts talking to Io about, I don't think I forgot our last match, blah blah blah, and and then Zoe tries to get involved, and Raquel hits her with, she isn't even like you either. I was like, that's long-term storytelling.
That's great.
Boy. So then Cora Jade says, well, if you just shut up, what are we doing? We're not doing the can they coexist thing. It's old and it's boring and it's out of style or whatever. I thought that was great. Please, let's not ever do that. And I like that she's aware enough to say it herself, not the Twitter feed of WWE, but her. That makes sense that she would say that.
I mean, kind of. I wish. I don't know.
I mean,
Call me old-fashioned. I wish they would have just acknowledged how shitty the show has continually been.
Yeah, I think though that like if Cora Jade watches the product, she knows that nobody is able to coexist because they can't put their own differences behind them. Like I'm fine with her acknowledging it in character as a person who's like, if we want to win the WarGames match, we can't have infighting like this. I get that, but
yeah, I guess that is just on the heels of a pay-per-view where 2 Survivor Series matches were sabotaged by their own selves in the battle for brand supremacy.
So yeah, Cora Jade's gimmick is very much Avril Lavigne. She was a skater girl. She said, "See you later, girl."
I'm
but
a
she's
tiny skateboard. Tiny baby skateboard.
Hey, you! I don't like your skateboard. Hey, you! I think you need a smaller one.
No way! It needs to be the size.
We have fun, if that's what you can call this. Okay. Before we get to the Mandy Rose versus Cora Jade match, we got our one dose of Tony D during the evening. Where he says, hey, I'm taking bets on the North American title main event. I love that he's basically the bookie backstage. That's amazing. That's so perfect. It's perfectly in character. He says, hey, my money's on Carmelo Hayes. I mean, I guess you could bet on that humorless paisan Johnny Gargano, or you could put a bet on Petey Poppins, which I just love that he calls Pete Dunne Petey Poppins. But I'll tell you what, man, Petey Poppins doesn't stand a chance. I would bet against Petey Poppins. It says, put your bet in. Call my guy Hesh and put in a bet. Hesh, of course, is the elderly Jewish bookie character from like the first season of The Sopranos, which is just so fantastic that he says that he calls his guy Hesh, which is, oh my God, he's so good at this.
You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna put down the kashish.
You put down the kashish. I love that he says that she starts sending back, hey, let's send it back to the Stooges at the desk. Hey, like he's just like, I'm watching this. I'm thinking to myself, we got 30 seconds of D'Angelo on this show. Much like the Little Black Box and the 747, they should just make the entire show out of the Tony D'Angelo. I don't understand. Like he's by the end of the night, we see we're getting more, but like he's so good at this, and he's so much more entertaining than the rest of the stuff we have on screen. And like, yes, he's got a ridiculous gimmick, but he's playing it A, honestly, and B, hilariously. Like that's all you can do when you get a ridiculous comedy gimmick.
It is sad that the most ridiculous gimmick on the show is the thing on the show that makes the most sense.
Yep.
It's the most logical thing and the most insane gimmick. That's not how that should work. Now everybody wants you to sing pop punk songs like Tony D'Angelo.
Well, they can send in their money, and if
send in your super chats,
and if Luis gets me the lyrics, I'll be glad to do it because I will always take your money to be made a fool of.
And now that we are at the 105 mark, we should remind people that you can send in your super chats, and you can send in your humper chats at humperchats.com. You
Yes.
can go to Fightful Select and subscribe to the most breaking news and the most accurate wrestling news and pro wrestling. And leave a thumbs up on this video. Because we don't want a big goose egg when people go to search for us.
We do not. We got a super chat here from Brendan Towngate. Says, I never watch NXT 2.0. You lucky cuss. But hashtag Team Kalex is so entertaining that I can't help but watch y'all. Very thankful to you both. Keep cool, Gabagool. Yes, we're very grateful here. Very, very grateful. And also with you. And
with your spirit.
So it's a very quick match between Mandy Rose and Cora Jade. And then Kaylee Ray comes down with a baseball bat. And to prove that it's a real aluminum bat, she swings it and hits the ring post. And there's a big old ding sound. And then she destroys somebody's poor netbook sitting in the timekeeper's area. I was like, that's not very nice. I hope that had insurance on it. And then Rose is distracted enough to get rolled up.
Distracted? In NXT?
Yep.
No way.
To get distracted enough to get rolled up by Cora Jade and pinned. Now, here's the thing. Not a big fan of the Mandy Rose push. Not a big fan of her as champion. Don't think it's working. But I'm a man of principles, and I do not like champions being pinned via distraction in non-title matches to build feuds. I hate it. I don't care if it's somebody who is a champion that I don't like. It's a really lazy and terrible, stupid way to book your wrestling program. But.
Yeah. And here's the thing. We've said a few times. Mandy is not terrible. She wasn't terrible tonight. But what you just said is true. If somebody is a champion and you make them look like an idiot because they're dumb enough to get distracted and because they can't get out of the move that you're put in every episode of a show. You just cannot figure out how to counter a freaking roll up to save your damn life at this point.
Yep.
It's basically like roll up, huge gap, cattle mutilation, Moodalock. Like it's lethal. The roll up is positively lethal. It's so stupid. It's so it's undermining any champion, but to your point, she's not the most convincing champion in the world anyway, because she's not the best wrestler in the world. Not the worst, but not the best. So you don't want to make any champion look weak, but you definitely don't want to make one who I don't believe would be able to beat half these women anyway look even weaker. It was stupid. It was really, really dumb.
Yeah.
But Cora Jade gets her win, and her tiny skateboard, she skated to victory. She went backstage after the show. You know, with booking, it's just kind of like, why you gotta go and make things so complicated?
It definitely does leave me frustrated. I will say that.
See the way you're pinning all your champs, you know that it makes me frustrated. Guys, there are people that know more about wrestling than me. There are people that are smarter than me. Not everyone's going to do what I just did, all right?
Yep.
I didn't say that was a bad thing or a good thing.
Yep.
They're not going to do it.
Yep. Oh, boy.
And you fall and you crawl. And you roll up and that's it. You just get rolled up and distracted.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that I think my impression at the end there was about the length of the match.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Joe Gacy cuts a little promo. Whatever. I'm the provider, and I will bring forth a new sense of belonging, and I will open the eyes of the blind. And then Harlan's hand comes down and sits on his shoulder, and then he kind of nuzzles the hand a little bit, which is just weird and creepy. I don't know if I like any of this. I started out to hate it, and I'm at the point where I don't know if I like it or not, which I guess is a big step up. But I've never gotten to the point where, like, you know what? I like this whole Joe Gacy thing. Seems A-okay with me. I haven't gotten to that point yet. That's for sure.
I don't know if we'll get there until Harlan gets in the ring.
Yeah.
Or like until the primary interaction is between the two of them instead of Gacy and whoever he's like working.
We'll see. I would need to see what Harlan can do in the ring before I'm willing to set aside my doubts of that whole thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure, but I just mean from even the Gacy perspective.
Oh,
like,
sure.
When he's like controlling him in the ring and stuff, like I think that's when I'm gonna be in on it. Is when you realize that this guy is like full on playing mind control, but also like what you're just gonna. Did you not have the 837.50 this week for him to have his tryout?
I guess.
For the Diamond Night?
But he's supposed to have a match with LA Knight, is what he says. But before
weird.
that, we get Kaylee Ray comes up to Io and Raquel and Cora and Zoe Stark. She says, I hear you need a fourth partner. It's me. And next week, I'm in the Advantage Ladder match. Okay, bye. And it was just like, I am not here for all of you booking yourselves and stuff. That's just utter chaos. That's just like, not only like that was the first I'd ever heard that they were definitely I mean, every year they do it, but they hadn't announced it yet. She just decided we are doing the Advantage Ladder match next week, and I'm going to be in it. And I don't like people just like, it's me. I'm doing it. I've decided the match is happening, and I've decided I'm in it. And I don't know if I like that very much because it leads to stuff like what we're about to see. Joe Gacy's supposed to have a match with LA Knight, but when LA Knight is on his way down there, Grace and Walla comes out and attacks LA Knight, and they fight to the back. So then he begins one of his little promos sitting on a chair. That doesn't really matter because immediately Diamond Mine comes out with Malcolm Bivens and the Creed Brothers and Hachiman and Ivy Nile and NXT Cruiserweight champion Roddy Strong. So Bivens says you tried to steal the spotlight from us last week, so we're going to do the same thing this week. Ivy's got a match next, so why don't you get the hell out of the ring? Gacy's like, I don't have any respect. I respect for you, Ivy, but not for you, Strong. Your name alone is an example of toxic masculinity. Get it? Because Strong, right?
Strong.
Oh, it's so good. Your title is an example of exclusivity and weight shaming, which I thought was like a cute joke until I realized that's actually the basis for this feud. Gacy says that the Cruiserweight division is meant to divide. Strong says, whatever, I fear nobody. I don't care about any weight limit. I do know my next money match is standing right here. Roddy, this is not a money match. This is not
Correct.
a money match. But Strong says, make the match happen so I can embarrass him. And so don't worry, I'll cross all the T's and dot all the I's. We're going to give you a title match, which means it's no longer the Cruiserweight title.
No, because this is the second time.
You can call it something else. But
yeah, and you also got to stop calling it 205 Live if people who are 300 pounds show
like
up
the
on
205 Live, I honestly couldn't give a shit about because they don't either. But the Cruiserweight title is being defended on network television as a Cruiserweight title. So the idea that like Malcolm Bivens says, okay, we're definitely having this match, and it is a Cruiserweight title match. We are waiving that thing because Joe Gacy is obviously over 205 pounds. Well, wait a minute. So you get to decide to do that? Nobody else above you has the potential to say, wait a minute, no.
There's nobody else above
Joe
him.
Gacy would have to waive his right to be champion if he beats Roderick Strong. Because you can't hold the title if you're over 205 pounds. Otherwise, it is no longer a Cruiserweight championship. You can't defend it because you're over the limit. Like, Roderick Strong can say, if you beat me, you get the belt. But then you have to say, immediately after that, I relinquish the title. Unless they change it to, like, I don't know, the X division or something, which if you want to do that, fine. But you haven't done that yet, so you can't do this now. And honestly, the problem I have with it the most, Kate, is the best fucking shit this company has done in the last 5 years was the Cruiserweight division, the 205 live show in 2018. It was the best wrestling they did consistently, week after week. You are basically saying that all of that was fucking nothing and doesn't mean anything. It's all for shit. We're burying that because we don't want to do that anymore because we fired everybody under 205 pounds. And I can't.
Well,
I can't.
I mean, let's think about how consistent that is with Grace and Walla's promo. That's all the same guys. Zack Sabre freaking Jr. is who they're talking about. Like, it is 100% an assassination attempt on that type of wrestler, meaning anybody that's not built like just a square. And B, anybody that would be on AEW, and C, definitely anything that Triple H had anything to do with at all now is just being gutted, including this. So, a few things about this. I didn't like Gacy as a matter of taste. And I also had a conflict with how much it makes no sense in the wrestling scenario that the ring is a safe space and all these things. Every single combat company has weight classes. Everyone. Every single freaking one. There is something called a heavyweight championship, and guess what? All the guys under 205 pounds aren't. Now, I know in this company, you would have a Bryan Danielson versus a Braun Strowman because kayfabe is there and whatever. But it just inherently goes against the environment you're in to say that that's not a thing when we have words like heavyweight, like cruiserweight, like featherweight across, right, in combat sports. So I hate that piece of it, that once again, we're contradicting the very landscape that we work in. And yes, you can't call it the Cruiserweight Championship. I hated this because this is also the most fucking anti-fucking Malcolm fucking Bivens thing in the world. He would never, a manager in their right mind would never say, let me grant somebody who I have an inherent disadvantage against because of their size. He's supposed to be the guy protecting them from this shit. He's the guy that prevents these matches from happening. Because that's his job, is to help his guys win. This is an inherent disadvantage that he's agreeing to for reasons that contradict the whole job of Malcolm Bivens and the whole purpose of the Cruiserweight title. I have never felt more confident, and this is just more proof of it, that they are just assassinating everything Triple H built. Now down to the nitty-gritty. Now down to Cruiserweight 205 live stuff. It's ridiculous.
The Batted to One Jam Beard says Sour Graps has returned and I'm here for it. I can't pretend to be happy about this thing, guy. I can't like laugh it off or do a little funny nodding turkey. Like, this is ridiculous. As somebody said, Robert Green, one of the best stories they had during the heyday of 205 Live was Buddy Murphy cutting weight to get under the 205 limit every week so that he could kill people who were 155 pounds. Like, that was a really cool, like, they honestly had like guys like Cedric Alexander, who was wrestling around 220, cut actual weight to shoot under 205 pounds to be a part of that tournament that got him signed. And where did he wind up? Getting pinned by Dana Brooke last night. So, like, he did all of that to come here and please you people, and look at where it got him.
Alex said you people.
I did. I don't know, man. I don't like any of this. The idea that, like, it shouldn't be your call. Like, have the match, fine, but like, here's what I fear. I fear Gacy wins, and then Gacy just gives it to Harland, and then Harland just squashes everybody he faces in 30 seconds, and just in his Michael Myers jumpsuit, because he shows up to like stand off with the Creed brothers, and both Creed brothers look at Harland and go, nope, I don't want a piece of that. Oh, that's good. That really builds up your Creed brothers. The two of them together think they're undefeated and can't take on Harland.
No. They're going to take a double choke slam. You know they're gonna take a double choke slam and lose their first match.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. So I'm glad you said that, because we could just get our heads around it now. We can lose our cool gabagool, because it's just every title and every title reign is about to look the same. I don't know what to tell you, but they're all about to look the same.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's an insult to pro wrestling. Like it really is. Between the Grace and Walla promo and undercutting 205 Live, which legitimately brought in the best talent in the world, wrapped around that championship, from all over the world.
Ryan Sullivan says that Humper chat in. Thank you, Ryan. Says Gacy needs more followers, and he needs to be shown mistreating them to prove he is a fraud. There is no other way I see this working. Yeah, right now he's got a cult of one, and I don't think that actually works. He's got a cult of no personality. Get it?
Thanks for a make me feel better. I think it could work. What needs to happen is we have to see Harland in the ring. If he's controlling him, that does work for me, because that's creepy and weird and different and not something that we've really seen before. If he's controlling everything he does, and I think you could still build out a stable from there. But this doesn't work as long as Harland's not in the ring.
Before we get Ivy Nile, we get an MSK segment. Where they were we thought they were speeding in a rental car. And they have the supplies in their little fanny pack on their lap or whatever, and they get pulled over, and they say, officer, what's wrong? It's you were going 7 miles an hour, which is an old joke about stoners. And they're like, okay, I want you to get out of the car. And by the way, they said for the longest time, it was a very big deal. You take the supplies. No, you take them. I'm driving. I shouldn't have them. You take them. And he drops them down next to the center console. The next time we see them, they're standing out of the vehicle, and they brought the supplies with them for some reason. We didn't see the cops say, bring those with you, but they're holding it and said, show me what's in the bag. And then somebody speeds past them on the side of the road, and the cop goes to deal with that person. As you guys got lucky, stay safe out there or whatever. I don't know what the frig it was. And so I don't know. They also made some great I don't want to get anally raped jokes. Those are fun. I love those jokes. Those are always good. Let's just make light of that. That's fun. But anyway, this was the worst, I think, of the things, because it was at this point, just get there. If you guys had literally ridden a donkey the 400 miles, you would have been there by now. I don't understand. You took a plane, you rented a car. When are you going to get to where you're going? Is it? I don't understand why we're doing this thing.
I at least at the end thought, oh, we're going to get the reveal of whoever this is. And then, no, we have to wait another week for it. This was awful. This was stupid. It was terrible. I know a lot of people that smoke pot. None of them act like this. None of them are stupid like they would have you believe with Riddle on the main roster. None of them are this dumb. And also, I don't even know isn't pot legal in Florida? So who cares? Unless they had a shitload on them, and I don't think there's even regulations for if you drive high. Is there?
I don't think Florida sounds like the type of place that would have passed that, but I don't know. Honestly.
It's Florida. There might have been
who knows? They flew somewhere 400 miles away from Orlando. I don't know. Is that Alabama?
That's true. Who the hell knows? Is it RVPD?
That would be very good. Our RVPD is very good. I wish that was a thing.
But to your point about the awful dropped the soap joke type stuff, this whole episode felt like 1997, through and through. This was part of it. I was this was edgy when Ellen had a sitcom. This is when that was edgy. Which is the last time Vince.
Destructobot says, as a Floridian, he says it's only for medicinal purposes.
Oh,
I mean, they're
probably in pain all the time.
I'm sure they've got a doctor's note, something to deal with the concussions. But anyway, Brennan Towngate has a good point. He says that moment when Triple H came out and brought Cedric to the back when they were singing "Please Sign Cedric." That was
my
one
God.
of the best moments in wrestling that I've ever seen, because it was just so natural and real and in the moment. And now it's all gone. Now it's all gone.
I'm actually sincerely, and you never want to say things in this vein, really, but I'm stunned they haven't released him. I thought for sure.
I after last night, I'm stunned he hasn't asked for a release. Honestly,
That we know of.
that we know of. Yeah, I like it when they announced when they asked for the release and then immediately announced that they asked for it, because it was like,
Did
hey,
you
everybody,
see Scotty Too Hottie today?
Yes, it's just Scotty Too Hot. Let's talk about Scotty Too Hottie.
Let's
Scotty
take
Too
a break
Hottie. Yeah,
from this episode and let's talk about Scotty Too Hottie.
Scotty Too Hottie announced that he asked for his release. He was one of the guys who like basically made NXT 1.5 what it was. Like, so many people who came through there credit him for working with them, for agenting their matches, for working with stuff in the ring. And he basically said, yeah, I just felt like I was doing this for a paycheck, and that's it.
Yeah.
Scotty
Too Integrity. Am I right?
Scotty Too Honorable. That's what his name should be.
Honorably.
Scotty Too Honorability. And he
was basically like, I can't do this shit anymore.
Yeah. Scotty Too Naughty going to do this anymore. But
Too Hottie under the collar to stay here.
He said, I'm not going to I'm not gonna
crap.
I'm not gonna I said I told myself I wasn't gonna do it I never do it for the money. And that's what I feel like I'm doing, so I'm leaving. And like he's not enjoying himself. Whatever he's saying isn't like, he's obviously he's not needed, because whatever he was helping, they're not having him do anymore or whatever. So he asked for his release, and I mean that's a big thing. Luis says that Scotty believed that honor is real.
Oh,
yeah.
What a time for ROH to have just shut down. Ugh. And my heart has cracked into a million pieces.
James Bowers, we have not gotten to your super chat yet. We will, I promise. But yeah, anyway, so there's that.
We have important things to cover.
We do.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We will, I promise. With some of the things we need to cover, apparently. Manny Toro says of Cora Jade, Darby Allin called. He wants his skateboard back.
Darby's the skater boy. He said, "Give me my skateboard." Or I'll come backstage after your show.
Ivy Nile beat Eucelia Leon. She danced Eucelia Leon to taunt her, like it was the old an old video game where like press X to taunt, and her taunt was this. And that's pissed off. That just pissed off Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile's got this awesome headlock.
She's so good.
Like that's where she like reaches behind and grabs her own hand and like cinches it in.
It looks
really
like
great.
It hurts real bad.
It looks like it like completely cuts off your wind. That was really, really great.
And she did heel push-ups, which you don't see the women do enough.
Yes.
I
think we should get a swerve. Here's what I want.
You want Shane Strickland back? Me too, buddy. Oh,
well,
sorry.
I want that too, but I want Malcolm Bivens to swerve old Joe Gacy and send in Ivy Nile to face him at WarGames instead. We know Joe Gacy, because of his own principles, can't hit a woman. So she would just kick his ass all over the ring, and I would love it. I think that would be great. I was like, hey, Joe, sorry. Listen, Roddy stubbed his toe last night. He's not clear to compete. But Ivy is, and just have her wax him all over the ring.
Oh,
that would be so good.
God, she and Layla Hirsch are such a dream match. Ivy Nile and Layla.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
Yeah.
She's great though. I really, really, really like her. I think she could be, if they evolve past the attraction that is ever so toxic.
Yeah.
I think she could be a really great champion, and they could turn her face because of her size if they wanted to at some point, and have her just be this like tiny little ass kicker like a Bryan Danielson or something. Or just keep her doing what she's doing. But she's great, and that submission is nasty. Whoo,
Yeah.
that looks like it hurts.
Yeah.
What did you call it? You called her a pair of biceps.
Yes.
She's
She's a walking pair of biceps. Good Lord, she is so jacked.
She's so jacked.
She's
great.
So Louise says that Joel Pearl and Joe Gacy are twins. And he also says that he'd take my money on Ivy whooping his ass. Agreed. Agreed. So here's what we got. We got GYV. We have the Wizard Young Veterans, who are objectively one of the best tag teams in the world.
Correct.
They were the first ever, correct me if I'm wrong, first ever NXT UK tag team champions.
I think so, yeah.
They're great. And ever since they've been in the States, they're the great young veterans. And we are the great young veterans. Soon to be recognized as the team that jobbed out to the Barroom Boys, the Bar Fight Boys, the Barf Fight Boys.
Bricks and Dutton.
Yeah, they have not been treated well since coming stateside. I thought they would have been NXT stateside champions by now, at least once, and they haven't been. And sometimes it just feels like the booking is just kind of confounding because they're just so good.
How is it not them and Imperium for 6 months?
I don't know. How is it not them and Imperium for 22 minutes? Just let them go. Have a classic NXT takeover tag match, which we know because for absolute certain, Von Wagner and Kyle O'Reilly are getting that tag match at thing, and we're gonna Kyle O'Reilly's gonna be babyface in peril for 8 of the 9 minutes that match lasts, and then Von Wagner is gonna tag in. I think they'll still end up losing because Kyle is leaving.
On his back, yeah.
But yeah, that thing is gonna be crazy. I think GYV is amazing. And I said if they have GYV lose to old Double Vest and the Beej, I think that that they should just tender their resignation. Like that, this is not the place for you anymore. You're so much better than this. You just I mean, at least like request a transfer back to NXT UK. Like at least they're still wrestling over there. Like for God's sake, like I don't know what this is, but this is not the place for them. They should have been on the main roster. If they're gonna have them lose on the main roster for good money. What like this is bad. Like the Grizzly Young Vets and the Usos would be amazing. The Grizzly Young Vets and the Street Profits, like Grizzly Young Vets and RK Bro, for God's sake. There's all these people. Grizzly Young Vets and the Viking Raiders, the Grizzly Young Vets and Los Lotharios, all of them. Like any decent tag team you got on the main roster, Grizzly Young Vets and them for 7 minutes would be at least fun, good.
Yes, but more elaborately. I can't believe you're acting like they're not doing consequential stuff on the show when they went and fetched Toxic Attraction's tag belts last week. Yeah, how dare you, sir? How dare you forget that?
It's true.
I will say the one good thing is that there was not a $100 million egg on the show.
That's true. That's the one good thing.
Who would you fantasy book them with in AEW? Let's make it fun. FTR. Oh
yeah, FTR and the Grizzly Young Vets is one of my all-time dream tag matches.
Yeah.
Like they are the British when I first watched them doing stuff, I was like, these guys are the Brit Revival. Like their stuff, all of their sneak around the ring and pull a guy off the apron right as the baby face is going to make the hot tag. Like that's all shit they learned from Revival. Like,
yeah. I mean, they're the British 3-letter team against the American
They are.
Truth Hunters.
GYV versus FTR, absolutely.
Ooh.
But I
For the
yeah,
Lucha belts.
I love it. I love it. Anyway, here we go. Because the whatever I call him Old Double Vest because he wears two vests.
Double vest.
Old Double Vest. He wears two vests for some reason, and the Beej because he wore a shirt that says BJ on it. They won because of course they did because why not? Because why not? Send them out. Just have them job out.
Because
now,
they need whiskey for their men and beer for their horses.
It's true. Ricardo Alidolo says Ivy Nile versus Paige Van Sant, Ultimate Forbidden Door. I would love to see Paige Van Sant wrestle a match. I would love to see that. She's certainly got she's
wrong
got
promotion though.
She's got the talking down, but she's Ultimate Forbidden Door. I would like to see her wrestle a match just to see how that works. The North American Championship match is fine. I have nothing bad to say about this match. I think that Pete Dunne is probably the most unheralded great wrestler in the world right now, as far as like where he's just so damn good, and he'll never ever amount to what his ceiling is in this company. And Gargano is just a consummate professional who knows how to wrestle these matches because as he said, he's been wrestling them for 5 years. Like he knows how to wrestle an NXT triple threat match. That's what they do. And Carmelo is great. He's really great. The match is good, and I think that Pete Dunne wrestled it really well and made you believe there was a shot because he was able to he gets rid of Carmelo, and then Gargano tries to do his diving spear, and
I almost bet at that.
The punch out of the air, like Pete Dunne's like, I'm just gonna deck you as you're diving toward me move. I've always loved that. And hits the bitter ending, and he's about to get the pin. But Tony D'Angelo runs down and pulls Pete Dunne out of the ring. And he does have a little grudge at Pete, but also he was taking bets and making bets. So he's literally fixing matches. He knows it's a triple threat match. If he gets involved, the referee sees it. He can't call it a DQ. So he bet against Pete Dunne and then made sure Pete Dunne lost. This is great. Like even before what we see after this thing, even if it was just him beating up Petey Poppins because he didn't want to lose the match, all the bet that he made, I think that is fantastic.
It's the only distraction finish that I've liked in a really long time because it actually A, fits the story, B, protects people, and C, is something that the character would do. And it blows my mind that Diet Tony Soprano is the thing that makes the most sense on the show.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. But I thought the match was great. I bet at that same spot that you referenced. Pete Dunne I just keep going back to like his match with Walter and thinking about that and how great that was. And like that's probably what he re-signed for. Like that's what he upped for. And now here we are.
I don't know.
But the match was good. It was very good. I think it did the job that it was supposed to of everyone. Gargano's got one foot out the door, if not both. So it didn't really matter a ton, but he knows how to make things make sense in a triple threat. Pete Dunne is fantastic and one of the most logical wrestlers in the world. And now that Marty Scurll's not really doing anything, to me, he kind of fits that same role. Like not just from the style, but the way he works, the pace he works, the intelligence that he uses. Yeah. And Carmelo looked great and needed to be the one to look great the most in this. So the only thing I'll say, which is what you've consistently brought up in the show, which is what I agree with, which is if you're just making your own matches, like everybody on the show does, by the third one, I was kind of like, actually good for her, because she probably watched the rest of the show and was like, hey, turns out I could just insert myself into matches. I might as well go do that.
Yeah.
Take a look around. Why wouldn't I? It just makes no sense why wouldn't every single person just go make a match with Tommaso Ciampa then? Like, that's my thing. As much as like it affects stuff like the cruiserweight not really being a cruiserweight title anymore, I'm like, logically, wouldn't you just be like, hey man, I want a match for your title? And if he was like, no, you could just be like, yeah, no, that's just how it works around here.
I challenge you to a match. No. Well, I said yes, and I guess we're having the match because I make matches now.
That's the way it goes. So, or you would say, you don't have the balls, Tommaso Ciampa.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they're in desperate need of somebody to do that. I really hope Samoa Joe comes back with William Regal. I hope that's eventually where we get, but I haven't heard anything about Samoa Joe. I don't know if he's going to try and get the hell out of here. I don't know if it's just his injury that's causing an issue. I don't know if they just bring him back up on the main roster.
Well, listen, I wouldn't it just be like so perfectly WWE this year that like in the next round of cuts, it's Samoa Joe's cut. Like just they brought him back to come out and take down the beast Killer Cross because nobody else was believable to do it. Then they released Killer Cross. Then they released Samoa Joe after Samoa Joe was injured, even though we never saw him get injured. Like, I mean, it's such a weird. It would be so perfectly them to like just wash their hands of everything because they don't need it anymore.
Well, and especially because Triple H specifically went back out and got him, right? And they're just assassinating everything Triple H did. So, the only thing that wouldn't be in line with WWE doing that is that would be actually doing right by Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
What is he gonna do here? If he goes back as the enforcer with William Regal, that could work. But like, what the hell is he gonna do? Job to Grace and Walla? Like, he's Samoa fucking Joe.
I don't know.
I'll explode. I'll crack like this little egg. This $100 million egg.
Actually, earlier in the night, we saw that the brawl between Grace and Walla and Larry Knight.
More like Grace and Brawler.
Yeah, good, like that. Grace and Brawler and Larry Knight continued backstage, and then after Tony came down and smashed Pete Dunne into the steps, and then Carmelo hit his flying leg drop on onto the back of Johnny's head, pinned Johnny. Then
he has a really good flying leg drop.
That's really cool. It's actually pretty cool.
Really
it's nice. But here we get Larry and Grayson come out again and bump into Tony D, who starts punching the both of them, and then Pete Dunne gets involved, and then it's a big old brawl. All right.
I forgot we were talking about Tony. So
yeah, Tony the Gabba Gabba Ghoul.
What did you think? I thought they could have been talking to each other this whole time.
So here we go.
Sorry, Sean, the show's going 47 hours because the turkeys gotta talk about a show.
So the brawl continues and it's going all crazy. And then we get Tommaso Ciampa comes out. And there's a bit of a brawl that continues until finally we get we got Pete Dunne, and we got Larry Knight, and we got Ciampa, and we got a slightly concussed Johnny Gargano still down on his hands and knees in the middle of the ring. And on the outside, we got Mello, and we got
who
Trick.
Don't miss, by the way.
We got Trick, and we got Tony, and we got one more Grayson, all outside the ring. And Tommaso reaches down and helps Johnny to his feet, and they share a look like one last ride for old time's sake. Like it really felt like it was like one too many sequels to an action movie, like a buddy cop movie, where they're like, I'm getting too old for this shit. Me too. You want to do it? Yeah, let's do it. Let's at least go out in a blaze of glory. Like, it just really felt like it was that. And then Braun Breaker's music hits, and he comes out with a microphone in his hand, and I said, "Don't you do it. Don't you dare do it, Rex. Don't say it." And he goes, "WarGames." And I said, "William, where are you? Bill, send a word to your fans, my man. You're ruining everything up."
All he has to do, open his phone, open up voice memos, hit record, and go, WarGames.
Yep.
And that's it. That's
so
all.
Here we go. I am actually all for Team New School versus Team Old School. I think it's kind of funny that Larry Knight is Team Old School. I think they could have found somebody else. Somebody actually put in a good word that how is this old school team not Champa, Gargano, Dunn, and Kyle O'Reilly? Kyle O'Reilly should have been the fourth guy on this team. He's a babyface. He's super old school. He was like I don't think there's ever been a WarGames without at least one member of Undisputed Era. You know, like I know he's got one toe out the door, but so does Johnny Gargano. He's gone. He's going to be in this match. I guess they got to do the DIY reunion thing. But that's who I would replace him with. But we got all these super chats about this, the old school versus new school. Sean Blanford says, "I'm thankful for KLX and the whole Fightful family. Seriously though, who else is excited for NXT New Blood Rising to come this upcoming Rumble weekend? May Gabagool be with all of you this holiday weekend." The Guru says, "Just want to shout out that it was 2 years ago today where Kevin Owens got an earth-shattering pop at WarGames as a member of Team Champa. Legend." And remember, that was supposed to start an extended run for him in NXT. That would have been so great. Ricardo El Idolo says Tony D in WarGames will be fantastic. Gabagool, I'm really excited for Tony D to get this kind of a spot. Like, I think he's going to do some ridiculous stunt. Like he's the guy who's definitely going to go through a couple of tables or something.
Oh, isn't he going to fix the whole match?
That'd be really good too.
That'd be great.
I think it'd be kind of cool if he like hid stuff all over the ring, like he had it all planned or whatever. The Nerd Guru says, "Keep cool, Gabagool, and may your step host be with you." I gotta say, the ending of tonight's show ruled. Old school versus new school. DIY, the last ride. I'm here for it too. Valab says they're doing New Blood Rising NXT. All the young guys in New Blood are heels, and all the old guys are faces, which honestly, I thought they were going to do the opposite. This is a really weird thing they're doing, because the whole reason this thing exists is to put over the new guys and get them cheered so they can become big time stars. And the way you do that is you
lose.
Right. But they don't have to. In this case, they can't. Like, the whole point should be that the old guys are gatekeeping and want to make sure the young guys don't take their spot. That's how they should book this thing, because then it makes the young guys who are going to be here long term, at least on the WWE roster long term, they think, it makes them into the big stars coming out of this thing, because they get put over. They get the rub by beating the heel version of the guys we used to like until they turn into a bunch of assholes. But now the guys we used to like, we still like, but we know that you have no plans for them long term. So this is going to be the last time we get to cheer for them before you start booking them into the friggin' ground. Like, I guess that's something, but...
So who do we have for the old school? We have Champa, we have Gargano.
We have Pete Dunne, who's a workhorse who we've always respected. And Larry Knight, that's a weird one. But, like, honestly, all it needs to be is Champa, Gargano, and the workhorse who, while he's been heel for a lot of his time, we've always respected the work of Pete Dunne. Like that is honestly, that's an all-star trio right there of old school guys.
But let's assume Gargano's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Pete has been a heel anyway.
Right. But
and Ciampa's not really a heel. He's just kind of. Or I'm sorry.
Braun Breaker throwing in his lot with the other 3 dudes outside.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker became a heel tonight. If only for just this match. Like, don't you want Braun Breaker to get cheered when he beats Tommaso Ciampa? Shouldn't that be the like? But they don't. They love heat so much they would rather their new top guy get booed when he wins his first title. That's how insane Vince McMahon is. He thinks and Bruce, but honestly, Bruce will just do whatever Vince McMahon wants. He would rather build a brand new guy from scratch and make him the NXT champion before, let's be honest, he's as likely a guy to topple Roman Reigns as anybody. You would rather have him get booed on his journey to the top than cheered. That literally makes no sense.
Well, here's the problem. I don't think that's what's going to happen.
All right.
They might be the heels in this. I think this is going to be in a much less awesome way. Remember when Punk and Eddie were just getting like such mixed reactions? It just sounded like a bunch of generic noise, and then occasionally you'd hear boos and cheers. I think it's just gonna be noise because nobody actually wants to boo Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, The Rock is coming back, and nobody will make any sounds because they'll be like, oh my God, he's really coming. And then they just won't bring him out.
Yeah.
You're right in that it makes no sense. But this is how WWE books things now.
Yes. Yes, it is. I think that what they're gonna do, I mean, if Tony D was taking bets on how WarGames ends, it's absolutely with Braun Breaker pinning Tommaso Ciampa. That's absolutely the way that WarGames ends. Like I can't envision any other way that it ends.
Is that insider info?
No,
or
it's not.
Are you just saying?
I'm just saying, like that's.
You didn't pay anybody off?
I can't imagine. I don't know. Oh wow! What a fantastic suggestion that they're never gonna do. The Bad to One Jam Beard says, "What if the heels kayfabe take out Larry Knight, and that's when Samoa Joe returns to be the 4th guy?" Because Joe is pretty old school NXT. Oh. There's almost nobody out there who's more old school NXT than Samoa Joe.
You're thinking if Hunter was booking. Yeah, Hunter would do that.
Yeah.
That's an excellent suggestion. That won't happen. Yeah.
So James Barras says he's reading old Vince interviews, and he hates those who can't overcome their circumstances or people who blame their environment. No exceptions. So in retrospect, it's obviously why he doesn't get how to make baby faces, because that's kind of the best way to make a baby face is somebody who came from nothing, or whatever. It's weird.
Like Cameron Grimes did tonight.
Yeah. Their Guru says, in my headcanon, next week, when the new school team is beating down old school, Shock the System hits. The other pillar of old school returns, I wish. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Oh, man.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, no, not going to happen. I'll tell you, I'm excited for this WarGames match. Could be a lot of fun. It allows the new kids to like figure out like how to do it. I guess how to get it done. How to like this is a huge spot for people like Grace and Walla and Tony D'Angelo, and to a lesser extent, Carmelo and Braun Breaker. Although I think those guys are already made dudes. I think if Grayson or Tony D, God forbid, were to just stink out the joint in this thing, they could see themselves like, not quite reaching those heights. But like I said, all they've got to do is take crazy bumps, because they're the young kids. So
Oh yeah.
their bump cards aren't full yet. So you're sorry. We're gonna build a stack of tables, and you're getting tossed off the top of the cage through them, Tony T. Like that's that kind of thing.
That's what that'll be.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's what it should be for right now.
Yeah. JW Pringle says, I just booked a match between Wet Hair Boy versus Tall No Neck Man. Bet you didn't know I could do that. And now, because of your smart mouth, now it's a musical chairs match. I'm better than NXT 2.0. That's good. That is good. Oh my God. All right. There are so many jukeboxes and a lot of songs to sing. So let's get to them soon.
Guys, this is the time because we're at 1:55 and we have to be out of here by 2:17. So get your super chats in, get your humper chats in, go to FightfulSelect.com and subscribe, even though that doesn't have to do with our time limit. Do it anyway. Leave a thumbs up on this video.
Normhausen says, still on a WWE diet, so no eggs for me. I'm currently smoking pork shoulder and pork belly for my Thanksgiving gabagool. Have a very nice holiday.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Some Stupid Punk said, came into the show not having watched WWE as always to join in with Kalex, see a wobbly turkey giving birth to my favorite OG sour grappler. And I think to myself, well, Self, you watched Denise find out about new things last night. Keep an open mind.
I don't know what I'm going to do on Friday.
Cowboy Clay says, like some others, I have yet to watch 2.0, but I try to never mess the Tuesday night Team Kalex after party. Keep up the good work. The Avril out of nowhere has now popped me twice now.
Out of nowhere.
Avril out of nowhere.
She's with you.
That's good. Dr. Six Fingers says, Dr. Six Fingers Esquire says the Humper Chat saying, just passing through to say, I appreciate y'all at the Fight Fam. Thank you. We appreciate you too, Dr. Six Fingers Esquire.
Congratulations on your medical degree and your law degree.
And your law degree at the same time. Very, very good. A lot of people. How much student debt do you have? The Paul Hensler says, thank you for the weekly messages from JW Pringle and also with you.
And with your spirit, Dad.
And with your spirit. Holy crap. There are so many of these things. Okay. Oh my God. I got it.
This rules.
There's so many of these things. Okay, well, here's one from the Nerd Guru. Tony D has to be doing these Blue Chew ads, please. Apparently, it's in the contract. Sean has to do the ad reads. That's the thing that has been cut in the contract. Tony D can't do the ad reads, or can he?
I mean, Tony D can still
if
talk.
you're having a little trouble down south of the equator, if you know what I mean. Take these Blue Chews. They'll really help you out. Maybe if you're not having any problems, I'm just saying. Maybe if you just want that confidence, if you know what I'm talking about, maybe then you just pop one of these beauties in your mouth. And then, you know, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, Gabagool. Zach Schemmel, big fan of the Fightful for a long time, says, hey, Alex and Kate, today is my wife's and I's second anniversary. Is it possible Tony D can wish us a happy anniversary? Hey, on the day of your wedding anniversary, I would just like to say mazel tov to you. That's my friend Hesh told me to say that. And also, I want to say this is a wonderful occasion, the second anniversary. That's a lot longer than a lot of my cousins lasted. I'm just saying, it's possible to be. I'm very happy the two of you have found love, and then that perhaps it might last a little longer. You got 5 more years till the 7-year itch, and then 4 more years till the 11-year rash. That's what I was told. That 7 years to the itch and 11 years to the rash, and then we'll see what goes on from there. Little topical cream might clear that all up. But happy anniversary to yous and using. Gabagool. So there we go. Zach Barber says, I finally realized that Kate's New York Princess is really just a Cyndi Lauper impression. It's more
I
Marissa
have
Tomei.
heard Marissa Tomei. I've heard Bernadette from Big Bang Theory. I
Mhm.
heard a variety, but it's really just myself. It's really she is me. I am her. You know,
Yes.
I am her.
Oh,
Where did that come from?
I got a couple things in here I'm gonna need Luis's help on. I'm gonna need the lyrics to Don't Go Breaking My Heart. And I'm gonna need the lyrics to Bohemian Rhapsody. These are two things that were sent in. I don't have those lyrics on me, so I can get those on the corresponding chats.
You don't know the words to Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, I'm
it's a
assuming we're
very
not doing the whole thing.
a very specific part of it that I want to make sure I don't get wrong. Reese Power says, late to the review, did you get a chance to practice Dan Housen's voice this week? Dan Housen likes the NXT boy. He likes the rainbows. Dan Housen is very, very, very nice, very evil rainbows. Dan Housen likes it very much. No, I did not get a chance to practice it, but I did listen to it. So I'm gonna keep practicing.
Up yours.
Yeah, up yours. How would it sound if Regal interrogated Tony D over the egg? Says R26. Anthony, we know you took the egg, Anthony. Just tell us where the egg is. Listen, I don't know nothing about no eggs, okay? Listen, there have been a lot of things that I have been accused of stealing over the years, but I have never stolen an egg before in my life. I stole a gallon of milk when I was 5 years old, but I have never stolen an egg. Mr. Regal, you have to believe me. Well, since you're hooked up to this lie detector, I have no reason not to. I guess that's I don't know. So the batted to one Jam Beard says, what does Tony D think of hashtag step host? Listen, you freaking perverts with your freaking step. Like, do you know what this is about? Do you know what? Listen, I prefer my pornography a little cleaner, a little more wholesome than your freaking step stuff. Like, I have 17 brothers and sisters. I don't need any step stuff. Like, I got enough of that. All right? I don't know no step brothers, step sisters, step cousins, whatever you freaks are into. All right? I prefer, like I said, I like my pornography a little bit more wholesome, you know? Just
Your point, they play Scrabble and shake hands. And
yeah.
leave.
Yeah, it all should be very honorable. Listen, I am nothing if not an honorable man. Okay. Drew Nicholas sends a humper chat saying, since we didn't get the great William Regal's WarGames, can we please have Tony D and then New York Princess doing their best WarGames?
Sure.
Okay, so first, here we go. WarGames! Oh, hey, WarGames.
WarGames?
Very good. Drew Nicholas says, thank you, Step Tony. You're welcome.
Oh, I guess I'm just chop liver. I'm chop liver.
Okay.
Love you, Joe.
Yeah, so good. Okay, so here we go. Now we starting to get into lyrics, and there's one here for you.
Okay.
Dr. Sixfinger says 250K in debt, just a law degree, but it's technically a doctorate, and I paid enough for it. I would say that you have, Dr.
So.
Six Fingers. All right. So do you have access to these little things in Luis's document? Can we see the first one in there? The batted to one Jam Beard, the New York Princess singing the egg song from Dr. Seuss.
I don't know it.
He's got the lyrics for you, but I don't know
it. I don't know the melody at all or anything.
Most of these things. Listen, do you think William Regal knows the melody to all those raps?
First of all, yes, obviously. Wait, come back to me because I can't load it.
All right.
but I'll look it up.
All right.
I can't believe I'm typing the egg
So
lyrics.
here we go. James Bauer says Tony D selling the Boulevard of Broken Dreams because sure. I walk a lonely road, the only road that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, where the city sleeps, and I'm the only one, and I walk alone. I walk alone. I walk alone. I walk alone. I walk my shadow's the only one that walks beside me. My heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there would find me. Until then, I walk alone.
Okay. I have an alternative suggestion because this popped up first. I'm not going to do the egg song, but I will read an excerpt from Green Eggs and Ham.
Okay.
As the New York Princess.
Okay.
I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam I am. That's Sam I am. That's Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Hello. I want eggs and gabagool.
That's good. That's good. Another one from Brendan Towngate, staying on the staying on the Green Day kick. He wants a Basket Case by Tony D. He asked for us the chorus, but no, I'm gonna do the thing until the chorus. Here we go. Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up like a freaking egg. Am I just paranoid? Am I just stoned? There's that. So now I'm supposed to do Tony D singing Complicated. You're not getting off the hook either here. You got to sing Girlfriend in a bit. After I'm done with this, I'm going to make you do something. All right. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Tony D singing Complicated. Chill out, what you yelling for? Lay back, it's all been done before. And if you could only let it be, you would see. Like, I like you the way you are when we're driving in your car and you're talking to me one-on-one, but you become somebody else around everybody else. You're watching your back like you can't relax. You're trying to be cool. You look like a fool to me. Tell me, why do you gotta go and make things so complicated? I see the way you're acting like you're somebody else gets me frustrated. Life's like this, and you fall and you crawl and you break and you take what you get and you turn it into honesty. And you promise me I'm never gonna find you fake it. No.
I just feel like you could have been like, you're trying to be cool. You look gabagool to me, you know?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So then the remix next
I should have
time.
changed that on the fly. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for the note, Kate.
Yeah, no problem. There's always next time.
There's always room for improvement.
There is.
All
Girlfriend as the New York Princess.
Yes.
I like that I have one impression. Nobody challenged me to do more literally ever. Hey, hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. No way, no way. I think you need a new one. Hey, you, I could be your girlfriend. You're so fine. I want you mine. You're so delicious. I think about you all the time. You're so addictive. Don't you know what I can do to make you feel all right? Don't pretend I think you know I'm damn precious. And hell yeah, I'm the New York princess. I can tell you like me too, and you know I'm right. That's good enough.
That's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough. Okay. Building, of course, to the William Regal rap. We have a couple more.
Yes.
So Ali Cease says nothing really matters and everything sucks. So can we get Walter, Tony D, William Regal, and Cameron Grimes singing the operatic section of Bohemian Rhapsody?
Saved by the Bell timeout. Everybody freeze. Ellie Cease is a youngin', and it delights me that not only she even knows Bohemian Rhapsody, but she knew to isolate the everything sucksness with this. Mwah. For the Rock is always beautiful. You may resume. I just wanted to point out the fact that I'm just it brings my heart such warmth when younger generations know classic songs.
Here we go. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do this. Of course, I'm starting.
I'll
of
do
course,
this
with
the whole time.
The little silhouette of a man. Here we go. I'm going to make sure I've got the right 4 people. I'm supposed to do 4 people here. Allie, here we go. All right. I see a little silhouette of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, 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 Figaro, Magnifico, oh, oh, oh. I'm just a poor boy and nobody loves me. He's just a poor boy from a poor family. I think I've melded them all into one voice. Spare him his life from his monstrosity. I can't do this one anymore. I think I broke my own brain. Let him
go.
Greetings, Team Alex, says Aaron for Humper Chat. I'm thankful for the Fightful Dream Team. This is always who makes Tuesday a highlight of my week. Thank you so much.
Thank
but
you
I'm
guys.
curious of what a duet of Don't Go Breaking My Heart between Walter and William Regal would sound like.
I too am curious.
I'm curious.
Let's find out together.
Let's find out together. Okay. All right. Okay.
I have to pause.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. Don't go breaking my heart. I couldn't if I tried. Oh, honey, if I get restless. Baby, you're not that kind. Don't go breaking my heart. You take the weight off of me. Oh, honey, when you knock on my door. Ooh, I give you my key. Nobody knows it. When I was down, I was your clown. Ooh, nobody knows it. Right from the start, I gave you my heart. Oh, I gave you my heart. So don't go breaking my heart. I won't go breaking your heart. Don't go breaking my heart. Yeah.
Walter, who posted a wholesome couple picture on Twitter today, which is hilarious because he murders people in the chest for a living. He was just like.
So now we get. Do you have this here in front of you?
Oh no,
the duet that we are supposed to sing together.
Oh boy.
It's the theme from All in the Family, which predates me, so it's an old show.
Oh man. I don't know if I know it.
Well, it's right here. We got the lyrics for you. So I believe the way it works is we trade off lines, and then the one at the end is us together. So then I would start, and then you would go. Here we go. Here we go.
We have to pull this up.
Do you got it? Do you have it?
Tuesday nights. Yeah, so I'm the second line and you're the first line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we start over again, and then you're the first in the second verse, and I'm
We're
the
not
second.
Come on. We're doing one verse.
No, it's really not that long. Okay, here we go. Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you know where you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men.
That should have been Undertaker voice. Mr.
We could use a man like Herbert Hoover again.
No welfare states.
Everybody pulled his weight. Gee, our old LaSalle ran great. Those were the days. Oh my God. Somebody, I'm almost waiting for Sean to come in and shut us down.
I've been waiting for that for like the past 10
now
minutes.
one more for Kate, and then it's gonna be the last one, the William Regal rap. Okay, here we go. Do you have this one from H.L. Madlarkin, the New York mobster princess, singing Titanium?
Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Thanks to, I think, the Pitch Perfect movie. You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. Ugh, ricochet. Shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof, nothing to lose. Fire away, ricochet. Book him better. Fire away. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am titanium. Thank you.
There you go. Sean says 2 hours once. I'm begging you. Not this week. Next week, Sean.
Sorry, Paul. But it's all super chats. That's the good news.
It's all super. All this is super chat stuff. Okay. So
you get over here and do a New York princess mobster voice, sir.
Finally, we got the William Regal rap, and then I have a very special Thanksgiving song written and performed by Tony D'Angelo. Okay. So first, we're gonna do the weekly William Regal rap from Zach Barber. Of course, this is Doo Wop That Thing by Miss Lauryn Hill. All right. All right, here we go. It's been 3 weeks since you were looking for your friend, the one you let hit it and never called you again. Remember when he told you he was bout the Benjamins? You act like you ain't hear him, then give him a little trim. To begin, how you think you're really gonna pretend like you wasn't down and you called him again? Plus, when you give it up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. If you did it then you'd probably have intercourse again. Taking out your neck, saying you're a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the jinn. Now that was the sin old that did Jezebel in. Who you going to tell when the repercussions spin? Showing off your ass because you're thinking it's a trend. Girlfriend, let me break it down for you. Again, you know I only say it because I'm truly genuine. Don't be a hard rock when you really are a gem. Baby girl, respect is just a minimum.
WarGames.
WarGames.
Thank you.
All right. This is the last thing. And then we're turning
Sean,
it
we're
off.
coming down the home stretch. I promise.
We're doing it. It's the last thing.
William Regal rap
It's
is
done. One more thing. Okay? I got to turn that. I got to change the
Dad.
hat. Kalex, before I do this, tell them where you can find you briefly.
You can find me at the Mark Order Pod every Wednesday talking all things All Elite. You can also catch me on Fridays, normally with Sean, but he's too cool for us, so filling in the much cooler TK Trinidad this week doing the AEW Rampage and SmackDown post show. And then, of course, every Tuesday, me and all of my friends, William Regal, Tony D'Angelo, New York Mobster Princess, and of course, Alex Pawlowski are continually losing our mind here every Tuesday. Keep cool, Gabagool.
Great.
Follow me at Kate.Duck.
This is something I decided to do for all of the Fightful faithful, people who love us. We love you back, and this is a little love note. It's Tony D who writes a love letter to the only person he really loves, himself. When my fist hits your eye, yeah, it's this freaking guy. That's a Tony. When Dex Loomis gets smashed just like potatoes mashed, that's a Tony. Ring bells ring, ring ding ding, ring a ding, and you'll sing he's the GOAT. And you'll say a freaking A, while I stomp on your throat. When my charm makes you drool like a big plate of gabagool, that's a Tony.
That's a Tony.
When you drop off the docks with cement in your socks, then you're screwed. 'Cause you'll think that you're dreaming, but you're sleeping with fishes, you phony. Scusa me, but you see, back in Chicago, York, Philly, that's a Tony. That's a Tony. That's a Tony. Follow me at Alex Sourgraps. Love all of you. Happy Thanksgiving. So
Happy
thankful for the Fightful
Thanksgiving.
faithful. Good night, everybody. We love you. Keep cool, Gabagool.